Good evening, everybody. We're live at Suzuka for round 10 of season 18 Contest of Speed, and it's decided to rain for us. Isn't that nice? Don't worry though. When the race appears, we'll have mixed conditions, so it should be rather interesting. Joseph has retired straight away. Was he not wanting to qualify? Matt's back alongside me. He's here in time this week.
Yes, hello. It is a bit damp, to say the least.
Yes. Thunderstorms and typhoon conditions at the minute in Japan.
Great. I'm looking forward to it this week.
It's alright. There's proper thunderstorm scheduled for me tomorrow, so it could be full wet conditions, not just inters.
Monsoon.
Yes. So all going to be out on intermediate tyres, so we don't need that data. One thing that I think we'll have to be bear in mind is that with it being a wet qualifying and then a wet start to the race, they may have to start on the intermediate tyre they qualify on.
They also need to be careful how many sets they use, because they're probably, well, it depends how quickly it dries up, may need to pit as well, but
yes.
Who knows?
I would imagine they'll be able to get away with one set in the race, which they have reserved anyway, but if there's any early accidents, which, to be honest, it's wet conditions, it's highly likely, they will have to look at another set. So, from the wide open expanses of Spa to the tight and twisty curves rather of Suzuka. The historic circuit. And one that, if I'm honest, I have never done a perfect lap of, ever, on any game.
And I'll tell you what, you won't do this year, because the curves are even more treacherous.
Oh, lovely. I'm looking forward to that then. Hopefully I won't have another spin at 1:30 out like I did last year.
It's an historic track for many reasons, isn't it? Both in
battles.
F1 real life and deciding the championship, and also deciding the championship in EU3.
Well. Yes. And then I remember a personal
Season
battle
5.
Yes, I remember a personal battle I had with Ricky here as well a couple of seasons ago, which
I think that was the exact same race.
yes, as Dan Hilton was the first man, but he's gone off the track, had a rough turn 1 and 2. So we'll leave him and head to Shane, who's the next man up the road. Yeah, well, we went side by side through Spoon all the way down through 130R, and then I managed to pip him to the line, which was
to the dulcet tones of a Dutchman and an Englishman.
Yes.
Majestic.
Yes. But of course, real F1 as well. We've had some great battles over the years. I remember Kimi Räikkönen doing his charge through the pack. Was that 2005, 2006 in the McLaren, and then we've had Senna and Prost, of course, and their clashes over the years. Came together at the Casio Triangle, and then again at Turn 1 as well. And Triangle when they were teammates at McLaren, and then at the first corner when it was Senna in the McLaren and Prost in the Ferrari.
Dan Hilton is struggling just a touch.
See, one of the big challenges that these... Oh, Shane cuts the Casio Triangle.
Oh, and he spun it as well.
Yep. Took a little bit too much curb on the entry there. So it's going to end up being the Wizard then. That's the first man to complete a lap. And it's a 41.2.
Sneak Tom's just taken 130R flat.
Oh, good man.
Brave.
Slaughter comes straight through, 39.6. I should say that the Wizard
he's lost it though.
Yeah, the Wizard is carrying an injury.
Elbow, I've heard.
Yes.
I didn't think he was supposed to be racing.
I think he's powering through, but yes, I heard there was a fracture involved, either with elbow or wrist. I can't quite remember which.
I think it's elbow.
Varda in there with 39.5.
I just said turn the force feedback off to 0. Be fine.
Just going to jump on board with... We'll look at Luke for now before we go on and do our obligatory on-board lap with somebody. We'll find
Whilst
some
we
other
wait,
outlet.
there's a few housekeepings.
Oh yes, plenty of housekeeping tonight.
So I'll start from the top, shall we? Stalls are in for Burnus.
Yep. Could be a permanent change, that one.
Yeah. Another potential permanent change, but we'll see how it goes. Electric Blade for Millsy, who's still not here, unfortunately. Still dealing with things.
And a third potential permanent.
Yes.
Sleeves in for Man-Made Legend, who I don't actually think has raced yet this season, despite having the full-time seat.
Australia.
Did you race Australia?
And then one after, and that was it.
Yeah.
Escobar in for Blades.
Really
need to stop thinking what I'm thinking in my head before I say it.
Well, I thought it best not to put him in the white car.
No, that could be very controversial and politically incorrect, but it's fine. Roll.
Electric Blade
Open to interpretation.
Provisional pole, 38.9. First man to dip under that 39-second barrier. Luke coming through now, one of the championship protagonists. And he goes fast. It's 38.7 for Luke.
This is going to end up being like from Turkey this weekend in the F1. They're all just going to keep driving out there until... Because theoretically, they should be able to get a drier line, sorry.
Yeah, there'll be a drier line. It'll just be greasy as opposed to full wet. So let's ride on board with Shane then. We'll go for a lap of Suzuka. And let's see how we go then. Down the main start-finish straight. If it's dry, the only DRS zone on the circuit.
Steve, you're very lucky.
Turn 1 here, which will be flat in the drive. It's going to have to be careful. Into turn 2, double apex corner. Careful not to run wide on the exit. Into the S's now. Schumacher, Senna, or just the Snake, depending on who you ask. Now up through the Dunlop curve. Long left-hander into the first of the two Degners. Again, almost flat out the first Degner. Heavy braking now for the second. Under the bridge, the only figure of 8 circuit on the F1 calendar. Into the hairpin then. Be careful of traction on the exit. Good drive from Shane. He's managed to get full traction there through 200R rather. 130s later on in the track. And into Spoon Curve. But I'll be honest, I think this is the hardest corner to get right anywhere on the calendar. Spoon Curve. Right, down the back stretch now. I don't know why they couldn't put a DRS zone in there, if I'm honest. Before 130R, used to be a much harder corner. Those of us of a certain vintage will remember Alan McNish crashing there in a Toyota. Probably 2003, 2004, long time ago now, but a very heavy impact when it used to be a proper corner. As in these cars with the heavy downforce, they can do it all flat out, even in these conditions. As we see Shane then across the line, 38.7 puts him into third.
The other Red Bull is the man on the move.
Yes, 38.3 for Jack Hawkey.
Which is also half a second up as well.
And goes into fourth, 38.9.
Sleeves is just running. Sorry, Sleeves is, I think, is just running out there. I think continues to just run it.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. Let's have a look, see how much fuel everybody's got on board. Sleeves got 1.9 laps of fuel, so he's got another run at it if he wants it.
And he hasn't pitted, and he's been out since the start, so I'm pretty sure he's just run that through.
Yeah, so looking at his tyres, he'll be on essentially his 4th lap if you include his out lap on them now. And Jaren then coming into the pits. Thought we might get another lap out of him, but not quite. So in the race then, just to make sure everybody's up to date with the weather. Okay, the rain will be coming down for the whole of qualifying, that's a given. It's just going to be a case of track evolution that's going to improve the times. In the race though, it will start wet with some light rain before moving to overcast conditions, and then late on it's going to go full clear skies. So we might see a very, very rapid change in on-track conditions. Just have to wait and see.
Just looking at the standings on the f1.contestofspeed.com website. There is only one person that has finished in the points for all the races they have competed in. There's a significant amount. Steve's had a 6th, a 1st, 4 seconds, and a 10th. Shane is leading the championship, but however has not picked up a win.
No, he hasn't. He's
interesting.
Yeah, he's been quite the consistent runner in that regard. He's got points most weeks. Like you say, no win yet. We've had Joseph lose it and crash at Degner 2, right on board with Raceway JJ. We might see the stricken car, or at least, no, it's gone, but we might see the remnants of the impact.
I think it was Smithy. I think Joseph retired at the start of the session.
Yes, he did. My mistake. It was Smithy.
It's I'll let you off because it's very difficult to distinguish between the Alpine, the Williams, and the Red Bull.
Yeah. Well, the Red Bull's not too bad. I find the Mercedes is harder to pick out with those two, especially if you're doing it at a glance. Varda looking very quick, fastest sector 1 of anybody so far on his current lap. Coming in towards the sector 2 split now as he heads up towards Spoon Curve. Just waiting for the update from TAS as he heads down now towards 130R. Raceway JJ improves to 8th. Let's jump to Varda then. He's improved through the middle sector by about 2/10. This could be a run for pole.
It's going to hamper Jack's qualifying session. He's off at the hairpin.
Comes Varda, goes fastest, 38.2 for the Alfa Romeo. Great lap from him. Just under 4 minutes to go, which will probably mean that there's actually just over 4 minutes left. Once all is said and done, let's have a look at one of the new guys. Let's go to Escobar. Just starting another lap. See if he's actually going to push on it. I think he is. Felt confident enough to give it a burst of power in the middle of turn 1. Maybe that dry line we were talking about earlier is starting to come a little bit earlier than we thought.
I think. Have a look. Because I've been keeping an eye on people's. Not Plano. I think he's one of these that run with medium traction control.
So half a second up through sector 1 then for Escobar. He's got his banker lap in. Puts him only 13th. He'll be looking to improve. That's a Haas getting out of the way ahead of us.
You'll be happy to hear this, don't you? Timo's done a thing.
Oh, has he done a goal?
He has done a goal for the Germans.
Is it now 2-0? Or did he score the first one?
No, it's 2-0.
Shame. Escobar incidentally has used his full lap's worth of ERS deployment. Gets a lot of tail end action coming out of 130R, and then the Casio triangle does not improve. Looks like he's going again. He's going to run out of battery power if he's not too careful. Reflux then. The man now finally in a full-time seat, replacing Thomas, who has decided to leave contest of speed for the time being. And then Reflux will be able to pull AlphaTauri off the bottoms of the constructors' standings.
Jack's leaving it very late, by the way, to make it round. He's only just leaving the pit lane now. Even with the time delay, that's going to be tight.
Yeah, the Wizard just gone purple in sector 2, and he's improved his sector 1 as well. Could be worth keeping an eye on. Coming through the triangle now. As we see him come around the final corner to cross the line. And he goes fastest, 37.9. First man into that. Slaughter has
Electric Blade may have something to do about it. Something about this.
Blade goes second, 38.2. Slaughter has retired in the pits. He's happy where he is. 39 flat for him. Reflux swiftly past Escobar and gets out of the way nicely. He's improved through sector 1 by just over a tenth. Sector 2, he's down on his previous time. So it's all going to be on sector 3. He's looking for just over 2 tenths to get himself above Steve. That's a great camera angle. Improves, but only just. Does not change his position. I think that's a new camera angle they've added in. I've not seen that before.
Where?
You know, from the nose of the car, looking back at the driver, slightly off centre of the halo.
Cheeky.
It's nice. It's tasty. Obviously not in race trim. You can't see anything, but yeah, qualifying. It's nice. It's nice. JRN currently ahead of his teammate. That could be the first time, I think, he's going to out-qualify his teammate if it stays as is. As Reflux has gone, we just jumped off and he's lost it through the Dunlop curve. JRN channeling his inner Kimi Raikkonen there, flying straight through the debris cloud.
Shane's just improved. Luke is at nearly 2 tenths up.
Yeah. He's gone purple in sector 2 as Luke.
So at the moment he's going to be doing a 38.1. If he can keep this all together, hug it. I would be hugging it to the pit wall for the shortest line.
37.8 for Luke. Takes pole away from the Wizard, who can't respond. Jack Hawkey, though, currently on a lap, is purple through sector 1 by a considerable margin. The Welshman looking to try and make it a hat-trick of victories.
JRN's getting himself in the mix here for potential of a third row.
JRN stays 7th, but improves by 3 tenths. It will do his efforts no harm at all. Jack Hawkey. Sector 2 could be key. We're looking for... He's improved by half a tenth.
Big improvement for Escobar. Up 1.1 second on that lap.
Yep. 39.4 takes him up to 12th ahead of his teammate. Here comes Jack Hawkey, though. This is the run for pole. Can he get ahead of Luke? He's hugged the inside line. Only second. Final sector for Luke was the deal maker, and it's cost Jack Hawkey.
Steve's going to make significant ground, I think, here.
Into 7th. Shane and Varda. Shane's on an in-lap. Varda's bailed out of his lap. Sneaky Tom then.
JJ. JJ's the one on the lap. Sneaky Tom's on an in-lap. JJ goes to the line and goes P10 with 39.2.
Just takes it. As we say, Sneaky Tom followed by Shane into the pits. So there we have it. Luke takes pole position then with Jack Hawkey second and the Wizard third. And in the constructors' battle, that looks tasty to me.
Yeah, it does. Jack is the informed driver at the moment, with 2 wins and a second place in the last 3 races. No one has really come close to that, other than Steve, who's had 2 second places and missed Monaco. That could be quite costly, who knows. And the overall points position for the constructors is...
At the minute, it's Red Bull leading by 24 points to Ferrari.
Yes, it is.
Who are themselves 49 points ahead of McLaren in third. So we're starting to see the 2 main contenders.
Ferrari got off to a brilliant start. We're up by significant in the first 3 races. And then it's sort of been Red Bull coming back at them quite well.
Yeah, and it's
in equal dominance, other than Zandvoort, where Ferrari outscored them 31-8. But other than that, it's been Red Bull the way.
Yeah, and it seems to be the case of that happening in most tiers, that the dominant team to begin with is starting to fall away. But Luke will be happy, pole position, but he's got to try and fend off both those Red Bulls behind him. As we've seen so many times before, the team with 2 cars has the tactical advantage.
The team with 2 cars also have the Drivers' Championship battle to look forward to as well. We have a top 5. Shane 107, Steve 106, Luke's 97, Jack Hawkey 96, and Wizard 98. That's
yeah, it's in the wrong order on the website, which
relatively close.
So it's Shane leading with 107, followed by Steve 106, 1 point separating the 2 leaders. Then we've got a drop to 98 for the Wizard, 97 for Luke, and 96 for Jack Hawkey.
The top 5 are well clear of everyone else in the tier.
Yep.
Timo scored another one, by the way.
Excellent.
Kai scored the first one. So North Macedonia 0, Chelsea 3.
Excellent. This is what we like to see. Shall we look at the tyres?
Yes. Are they all intermediates? Someone trying to do a Sebastian Vettel?
No, they are. They're all intermediates. Weather is due to dry up pretty quickly. Roughly around the 20-minute mark. We're looking for it to dry up, and then half an hour in, we'll be looking at soft tyres, probably, or slicks at least, until the end of the race. 1 minute 30, roughly, for a lap round here in the dry, and in the wet, as we saw earlier, high 30s into 40s, potentially with full fuel. So in the wet conditions, we'll be looking at a race time of around 50 minutes. Probably take that down to about 45. With the dry weather coming at the end, depending on safety cars.
According to Jack, McNish crashed in 2002.
Was it 2002? Was it that far back? Oh! Back when it was a proper corner. Of course, back when it was a proper corner was when we had the Alonso move around the outside through 130R on Michael Schumacher. Which, still one of the greatest overtakes ever, that one.
So I'm immersed in the driver's standings. I'm just having a look.
No, you do your thing. So just looking down the order then, I think the people we need to look out for, Steve, definitely, as the 2 Aston Martins hit each other. Steve and Shane charging through. Varda seems to have a lot of pace in wet conditions, so that might give us some interesting shows early on. The 2 Rebels, of course, will be near the front, as will Luke. Barring anything tragic early on.
So realistically, it's everyone's kind of where they should be, really.
Over 1 lap pace, yeah, I think for the majority, yeah. I would say that Luke Varda...
In terms of the
probably,
championship.
Yeah, Luke and Varda are probably a little bit high. Over 1 lap pace, but damp conditions, you see. It's the spanner it throws into the works. So 5 lights there are on. We don't have anything, but we can check the telemetry and wait for the revs to build. Away we go then, here at Suzuka. It's a good start from Luke and Jack Hawkey. Electric Blade going to have a challenge on the Wizard, who cuts across to defend.
Oh, and Slaughter's in the wall. There was a pinch.
No wing on that McLaren. We've got JJ down there as well.
Yeah, he was one of... Those were 2 or 3 guys that got pinched. Sneaky Tom's got damage, and everyone's trying to avoid him. Oh, now the Haas has got damage, because Smithy and the Aston Martin come together, and that'll be Dan Hilton in the pits as well.
We've got a lot of cars showing damage at the moment.
That's where JJ goes down the inside.
Meanwhile, though, out front, Luke has managed to hold his lead, and he's pulling away from Jack Hawkey in 2nd place. The Wizard in 3rd behind, tucked in there, Electric Blade and Varda. It's as you were, all the way down to Steve in 7th place. The 2 Alpha Tauris, though, look at them on the move. 3 and 5 places respectively.
They were fast stars last week. Reflux was a fast star on those mediums last week before his escapades.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah. Good point. As we're getting a fair bit of daylight between the 3 leaders now.
Joseph going off. Sneaky Tom's been passed by. Tom's really struggling with that damage. More than the other guys around him.
It's Luke had a rough final sector. Jack Hawkey brilliantly done. Closed back in
Shane,
0.3 of a second.
Sorry, Shane is through. That's important for the championship.
It is, yeah. Ahead of Varda. Is that into turn 1?
Down the main straight. Varda just let him go though, which was a bit... Well, I say very nice of him.
Probably.
You may see some yellow icons on people's screens at some point. There's a few underfueled. Of course, that's a mouthful.
Well, quite a few underfueled.
Yeah.
We can look at exactly who is underfueled. At the moment, for those cars we have data for anyway. Shane is underfueled. Steve is underfueled.
JJ was underfueled.
Yep, Sleeves is underfueled. Smithy.
Slaughter.
Well, I see I've not got data for Slaughter, Sneaky Tom, Escobar or JRN. Those guys, we've got a communication error with TAS on that front. I've contacted tech support. Oh, we've got a McLaren in the wall, that's Shane.
Oh, and Sleeves has just fallen off the road in sympathy for his friend.
He has, yeah. Escobar now. Is he going to try it? He's not going to try it. Shane's got no wing though, he could have done. He could have thrown it up there.
Yeah, I don't think he saw how much, because Shane was quite a bit ahead of him on the road.
Shane then having to go the old way through the Casio Triangle.
If this was 1990, or is it 89? He would have been disqualified.
Yeah.
He would have been disqualified from the race for that.
You can always... Suzuka's one of those tracks, the pit entry is actually downhill. It looks flat because you go down an initial incline, or decline I should say, and it starts to level out, but it still is actually downhill, so you've got to brake early. We'll see a lot of people pick up penalties for that, I think. Shane is the first one of quite a few.
Also, the lack of downforce probably didn't help him there either.
No, that's true. Sector 2, yellow flags. That is that Reflux who's gone at the Degners. It is.
Oh, that is brave, turning it by using the wall, because
we've all seen that glitch happen before, haven't we?
Yes. Some of us have been a victim of said absolute
Yes.
glitch. Yes.
Turd building.
The word I was going to use. Yes. BS. I can use that. I haven't said it out completely.
No. Reflux then, no front wing on that car. Smithy behind him has some minor wing damage, but he's carrying on regardless. He picked that up early on in the race. Still got a communication error with some of those cars.
Yeah, I think he did last week as well, and sort of just, trundled along.
Yeah, this VSC is working miracles for Reflux, who's not losing any time with that wing damage at the moment. He'll be hoping that it stays out for the entirety of the time he's going to have to be in the pits, because then he will only lose one position. Well, only one position more.
I'm waiting for someone to get caught out by the Delta going massively underneath mid-course.
Let's see. This could be another one. No, he's got it slowed down in time. There we go. Dan Hilton's the one you wanted to wait for.
Oh!
New wing for the AlphaTauri of Reflux. And he is away.
He is.
Electric Blade then right on the back of the Wizard, who is starting to fall away from his teammate. Not by much, granted, but a little bit. As Dan Hilton comes in to serve his drive-through penalty. We've got
Reflux.
He's spun it in the S's. Cold tyres, you see. Be able to get away without any damage, though, I would have thought that time.
I was about to say they're all being fairly sensible with their ARS. They're all roughly got the same.
Of course, not spending as much time on the power, so it will recharge a lot more readily in these conditions. It's the fuel use you want to be careful of. Of course, it will dry out later on, so they might be able to save some there.
They've just had a VFC as well, so that probably would help.
Yeah, that would help the guys who are under fueled at the moment. Luke seems to be forming a bit of a train behind him out front, but he's looking after those tyres. Although, having said that, Jack Holge's tyres are much better condition than his, so he needs to be careful.
JJ making a move on Escobar.
Luke's tyres at the moment out front, currently the worst on circuit.
Which is surprising because he's not following, but I suppose he's under the cosh. To put it mildly.
And it might explain why he was quicker in qualifying, because it's his front tyres that are getting torn up. So, you're going to have more downforce on that car.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's gone with wet or hybrid or dry setups.
Is that Reflux again? No, it's Sleeves this time.
Sleeves is the other one, I believe. Oh, and he's gone again.
Yeah. These tyres will be very, very cold.
The ghosting system has... Oh no, and the other ones, the other AlphaTauris hit the rear of the other... Oh, that's gone wrong. It's just gone wrong.
You get lost in there. Just a touch.
I could see it coming from a mile away, and they still did exactly what I thought they would do.
So the front six then at the moment, exactly where we expected them to be. Shane, the only one who's dropped out of there with his incident. Steve at the back of this leading pack. JR and his teammate closing in though as well, held up by Luke as they all are. Big winner at the moment is Smithy, who stayed out with that damage up to 10th. And then losers, we're looking at Reflux and Shane. Reflux had a really good opening lap or two, but has fallen away since. And is that Escobar, I think, who's had a spin? Indeed it is. That's Smithy up to 9th now. Oh, Luke's gone! Luke's gone! At the hairpin!
Hairpin time.
Went very deep, lock-up I think it was, and that has now released both Red Bulls and Electric Blades into the lead. And Varda's got past him as well now, and Steve will be looking to capitalise. And there's damage for Luke as well. There's damage for Luke as well. This could not come at a worse time.
Or could it? It stopped raining.
It stopped raining, but the track's still going to be wet enough for Inters. He's going to have to stop for a wing. And look at the time he's lost already. He's going to have to stop for a wing.
Oh, he can't get slow down for 130R.
No, it's much more damage than it appears. So it looks as though there's just an end plate missing. It's actually 48% of the downforce on that side of the car. He's going to have to stop for a new wing. And I will be very interested to see what tyres he goes for. I would imagine, I'll be honest, if it's me right now, I'm going mediums and I'm just going to stick with it.
He's got to go with Seb. Release your inner Seb. No, he's gone back on the intermediates.
He has, he's gone back to the inters, which, fair enough.
Interesting fact out front, Jack Hawking had to burn ERS down the main straight to keep ahead of the Wizard. So I think the Wizard is running less downforce, although he's just picked up a penalty though, running wide for the Dunlop curve.
Great for the Wizard.
And Steve is slightly getting held up, maybe, by Varda.
I would imagine so, but I think Varda had to try and negotiate Luke, so... But then again, of course, the drivers who've gone with a drier setup, we're going to be seeing a lot more pace from them now it's starting to dry off. I think Steve is going to be one of those cars, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Oh, Dan, turn off your ERS. You've still got it on.
Steve right on the back of Varda now, down towards 130R. Is he going to try?
You know what?
Go on.
Potentially time, I feel. They're all sliding over the place.
I'm not so sure. I think it's going to take someone always goes early.
There's always got to be one.
There's always one that goes early. Nobody's trying it at the minute. Luke is obviously going to be really disappointed that he picked up that damage. And I'm trying to work out what happened. I imagine, and I'll stay with Steve as we go through, and I'll try and explain it in real time. I imagine he lost it coming out of the kink under the... Oh, Electric Blade past the Wizard.
Wizard's made a mistake.
Yeah, he has. Electric Blade takes full advantage. Yep, damage on the wing as well. But Electric Blade!
Electric Blade then makes a mistake.
Well caught through this corner here where we are now. That little kink there, I imagine Luke has tried to go through it with a bit too much power, lost the back end, clipped the wall, and that sent him deep onto the runoff area beyond the hairpin.
Steve was eyeing up the Alfa Romeo in front, but then just didn't go for it.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a couple of laps now, just waiting for his time to strike, which, to be honest, does not seem to be presenting itself, although it might now. He's going to go for it, is he?
Oh, this could... Yeah, that is a sensible decision I've just seen there. Both
of them driving respectfully of one another. They're both in good positions. Varda, especially for what he's had so far this season, he'll want to make sure he keeps it. Steve, I think, will be passed before turn one, but Electric Blade ahead as well. Steve's through. Electric Blade, is he going to go for something on the Wizard? No, he's not quite got it yet.
Wizard's got great straight line speed. That's the
oh, that's problem. Smithy at the triangle. He's still going, and I think he'll hold position. But it's a lot of time lost for the Williams guy. 13 seconds now, the gap between him and Raceway JJ ahead. back up front though. Electric Blade still closely following the Wizard. The damage on that Red Bull evident, as we can see, the 2.6 seconds ahead to his teammate. Of course, it's only 3% of his overall downforce, but in tricky conditions with worn tyres, that is... It's like putting ice under the car.
Joseph.
Yep. It's Joseph gone at the triangle.
I'm watching Luke close on the back of Escobar, and some of the lines Escobar's taking are interesting.
Oh, Luke going for very unorthodox overtake position there. Needs to be careful on the exit. Yeah, wants to get the power down early, but
patience here. You get him. Definitely get him 100%. But
yeah, it's
just
the time
he's
going to lose, isn't it? Oh, Escobar brakes very early for that corner, but Luke there, more wing damage on the Ferrari. This is what you were talking about with patience. Now he has to go slicks. He has to.
Well, I watched the gap for the last 3 laps, and he's taking like a second and a half out of him. So he's on A, fresher tyres, B, he's probably, let's be honest, a more comfortable and quicker driver in the sim. So you know for a fact they are enabled. That is probably a blessing.
It is for Luke. Yep. He can come in now, put some slick tyres on and go for it. The leader's just going through the Dunlop curve.
So who's pits then? That's going to be the interesting thing.
Luke is the only one. We've had a couple of guys pass the pit entry and not stop. So Luke on slicks then. We'll stay with him and then we can have a look and see how he handles it. And there's 2 more. That's Sneaky Tom and Slaughter. They've decided to stay out as well. So maybe it is too early.
Just gonna have a look. Reflux has come in. Joseph will probably come in. I reckon Dan Hilton will probably come in as well. These 3 at the back haven't really got much to lose, but have a lot to gain.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Belgium last week for EU3, where the track itself it's right on that crossover between the 2 compounds of tyre, between slick and intermediate.
Hold up, there's a... Steve's caught up to these 2 in front. Varda's not going to be far behind.
Jack Hawkey's in.
Chains off. And it's called as a VSC. Oh, perfect for the four guys that have just pitted as Varda stays out. Safety car, in fact.
And Varda has got through, so he'll be able to go around.
JRN, that's silly.
This is what I was talking about. JRN's gone soft. All the others so far have gone medium. Joseph and Dan Hilton soft as well. JRN, the only man towards the front of the pack to go medium, to go soft rather. Raceway JJ has gone medium.
The problem Varda's got is Dan Hilton's in front of him, and Dan Hilton's on a different delta to what Varda is.
But he is on slicks, so we should be able to get quite a nice judgment, really.
Yeah, but this is the problem though. Everyone pitted, but Varda stayed up, but this is now costing him time.
Yeah. And Varda's gone into the back of Dan Hilton, and that has caused Varda to hit the wall, lose his front wing. And I'll be honest.
That's a rear wing as well.
Yeah. That's going to be some big damage there for the Alfa Romeo. And if I'm honest, that's Dan Hilton's fault there. He just slammed on the brakes to try and avoid that penalty. And I mean, on those tyres, there's not much Varda can do from there. And that's cost Varda the best part of 10 seconds, and more than likely a chance at fighting for one of the high scoring positions.
Well, the only saving grace is he could probably come out 7th or 8th.
he'll definitely come out 7th. He might, if he's lucky, he might get out ahead of JRN. But with a wing change, I doubt it. And he's got 5 seconds as well, so no, it won't be. It will. He'll be ahead of.
Be ahead of Smithy.
Oh, I say that JRN is in as well, as is the Wizard.
Yeah, that's strange.
Cycling tyres. That allows JJ up into 4th place.
So Vola's actually going to come out 5th, which is a lot better than what expected. So Smithy's going to. Is he going to beat the Mercedes? The Mercedes will be on our right.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a delta now because the leaders are with the safety car. So he could put the power down. JRN behind Smithy and Escobar. Luke now back up to 10th. So
in the points, but he's got to negotiate what he would probably think is some traffic.
Yeah, he could stop again as well. Should he want to cycle those tyres, he could potentially get out ahead of... Oh, he's gone! He's gone! He's spun it in the S's. He'll keep position, but that has now eliminated his opportunity for a tyre cycle. He's going to have to stay with them now, or risk losing position. I think that's what I mean. If we go offline, the track is still damp and it's still very slippery, so we need to be careful. JRN on the back of Escobar, of course. We just missed out on that pit exit. So everybody now on slick tyres. Jack Hawkey, our race leader. I thought he was going to come in then.
The Wizard's down to 6th, obviously, after all of this, so he's lost out a bit.
There was a... I'm trying to think if there was... it was a wing change for the Wizard.
But then he cycled tyres again.
No, I think that was the second stop.
So
that was the wing change.
He's gone intermediate, medium, medium.
Yeah, I think the second stop was for a wing change. Whether or not it didn't do it on the first one, or if he picked it up on that outlap, I'm not sure. But I think because he came in the same time as Dan Hilton, who was at the same time as Varda. So yeah, it was a wing change for the Wizard as well, which is why he's dropped down. Varda obviously in that scenario as well. JRN, I think, just pitted because he could and went on to the mediums rather than a
5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane, so he got rid of it.
And has now gone on to the mediums as well, which you would argue are the better tyre.
That also is quite a sensible decision as well.
So we are now into overcast conditions. Sunshine, bright and lovely, will be appearing. Track and air temperature will start to increase.
The problem I just realised they're going to have is Dan Hilton's a lap down and he is currently 6th in the queue.
I don't know if that's necessarily going to be a problem.
Well, let's put it away. We just can't overtake him until the safety car, the start-finish line.
That's a good point. But he is just going to have blue flags, of course. Once they cross that line, he could pit in, potentially, and allow them all through, but that's not going to help his race.
Joseph, what are you doing? That was lunacy.
Jack Hawkey's gone. Gone very early, actually.
Safety car's in this lap.
It's very, very late call, and he's going to get held here.
He's not, though, because
no, he's not.
Steve's
he's gone.
Not reacted.
He hasn't. Jack Hawkey pulling away then at the front of the pack. Steve under pressure from Electric Blade. We can see there on screen. Steve's going to hold position into turn 1, but the Red Bull of Jack Hawkey starting to pull away. We saw some blistering on his rear tyres as well. Electric Blade, then the man on the move. Steve makes a mistake. Electric Blade trying round the outside of the Dunlop curve. Gets pushed wide by the Mercedes. Holds position though. JJ's going to have a look into Degners.
Wizard's gone.
And there's an Alpha Tauri with him. That's Reflux. As we say, offline, the track is very, very greasy still. Which we saw there with Electric Blade. He managed to hold his nerve as he went into the outside there of the Dunlop curve. But the back end stepped out.
That's sleeves? No, it's not.
Reflux.
Reflux. Gone again.
Degner too, yeah.
Escobar is... Oh, Luke has been here before, and Luke will be here again. Oh, and Dan Hilton's gone.
Electric Blade were riding on board with him. DRS, of course, won't be enabled until 2 laps after the safety car, so next time around we'll get the indication.
Luke's going to just have to set this up, I think, into turn 1. Oh, Escobar all over the shop.
Just going to try it on the brakes.
I definitely wouldn't.
Yep, he's got him. He's through into 8th place. Escobar.
Oh, Sneaky Tom ran the outside.
Yep, battling with his teammate. Dan Hilton has retired in the pit lane. So back up front then. Steve now. Start to close back up to Jack Hawkey. And dragging Electric Blade with him.
I think.
He's one of the cars I've got no data for, but yeah, I'd imagine so. Electric Blade all over the back of Steve's Mercedes.
Electric Blade loves using that exit curve, doesn't he?
He's on the ragged edge trying to get past Steve as we see JRN get ahead of Smithy.
A very unusual position.
That's JRN up into 6th now. He can chase after the leading group. Luke is the next to attack the Williams. It seems to me Steve has a very good sector 1, as does Electric Blade. Jack Hawkey not so, but then the rest
he also
of the
seems to have a good sector, a decent sector 3 with Jack, but his middle sector is, yeah, very weak.
Not the best, yeah. Electric Blade has got some blistering on that front left tyre.
Look at the front of this Williams, it's not looking much better.
No.
Or Raceway JJ's for that matter. I think none of them are.
No, there will be some early graining, I think, and blistering that we might see on those tyres, just as they're starting to sort of dispel the last of the water and get them into some sort of temperature.
No,
operating.
The sun is out, ladies and gentlemen. It's
indeed it is.
Warming up. And so is this race.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, you know, the opportunity was there, I had to use it.
So now whatever water was left will be quickly evaporated. These guys will be able to push to their full potential as we see Luke now looking at the back of Smithy down towards 130R. Great shot from the helicopter as we head in, and Luke is always back and steps out. He's kept it out of the wall.
New underwear.
Oh, Smithy!
Just fallen off the road. That was weird.
Snap of oversteer. Sneaky Tom takes advantage as well, as does Shane. Smithy down to 10th. Electric Blade still caught up behind Steve. who is now
Reflex
definitely
is gone.
dropping away from the Red Bull of Jack Hawkey out in front. That's Reflux who's gone on the exit of Spoon Curve. And we've got another safety car. And Joseph, because Joseph's gone at the final corner. And I would imagine he's done a Dracer.
He's done a Dracer!
He's done a Dracer! And hit the pit wall. Let's watch on board with Slaughter. The car's gone.
He's on. He did do it.
Yeah.
Full on.
Yeah. So now we can pull up the tyre graphic and see what people go for. Soft tyres will make it from here. Will we get any takers out of that leading pack? That's what I want to know.
Will someone be different? Yes, I hope so. That's the answer to that question.
See, the only people I think who could be are the leading three. I don't think anybody else has got the gap. Steve's going for it, Jack Hawkey's gone for it, Electric Blade's gone for it.
Will someone be different? Raceway JJ, good man!
He's carrying on, Varda's in. Will Luke continue or will he stop as well?
Oh, JRN, that was an interesting pit entry if I've ever seen it.
Yep, Luke is in. So
Sneaky
one Ferrari
Tom
sticks.
carries on.
One Ferrari sticks, one Ferrari twists. Of course, all these cars coming in now, there could be some interesting position changes as people are held. Luke is he's held, but not for too long.
Oh, JRN's got some mediums.
You never know. End of the race, that might prove to be a good call.
Yes, I remember getting held up by Kels as well around here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's not an easy track to overtake at, even with DRS. Particularly if the car ahead of you has gone with a dry setup and you're on a wet one. The DRS effect. Not as effective as you might think. Leaders then on the back of the safety car now. Raceway JJ leads the pack from Sneaky Tom, and then Jack Hawkey, Steve and Electric Blade. Leading two of JJ and Tom have not stopped yet. Well, not stopped behind the safety car. So, just looking at the tyre wear, Raceway JJ at the moment at 15% after 6 laps. Sneaky Tom I don't have any data for. But some of the other guys, Reflux, who was on 5-lap old tyres, was at 20%. So significantly worse off than JJ. So he's looking after those mediums really well. And that could prove to be very, very important come towards the end of this race. Dan Hilton, the only man we've got data for on old softs, they were aging roughly at around 5% a lap. So we've got 10 laps to go. That's going to be roughly 45-50% depending on how people drive on them. So depending on how long it takes Slaughter and Sleeves to catch up to the back of the pack will depend, I think, on how good of a decision JRN's was to go to medium.
Or even more of a decision for Raceway JJ and Sneaky Tom for staying out.
Yes, the longer we go, the worse it gets for JRN, but the better I think it gets for JJ and Sneaky Tom.
Yes and no.
Yeah. Obviously they've got less laps to hold off the pack behind, but those their tyres behind will be fresher.
Yes, even though they do have relatively fresh mediums, it's a bit of a win-win/lose-lose if you get what I mean. Many pros and cons.
JRN will be wanting the safety car in this lap, and I think he will get his wish. So this is where we have a sprint to the finish then now. It's going to be 8 laps when we cross the line.
Many people with penalties, by the way.
Yes. Penalties wise, we've got everybody on 3. Escobar has a 5, I would imagine, for speeding in the pit lane. Smithy has 6.
Correct.
And as we can see there from the tyre graphic, everybody on fresh softs apart from JRN on fresh mediums, JJ and Sneaky Tom on used mediums. So position change then. Sneaky Tom up 11 places, JJ up 9. The Wizard down 9 as your big loser so far.
Right, so JJ hasn't picked up a podium so far this year, and Sneaky Tom has had 1 podium.
Yep, safety car is in this lap. We'll ride on board with JJ. See a little blister there on that right hand tyre at the rear, which is his left.
He's waiting.
And he's gone. Decent restart, but Sneaky Tom's with him. It's important though, those two need to work together to try and hold off those soft runners. The Wizard's got past Escobar there at the restart. That's the only move I can see. Sneaky Tom having to defend from Jack Hawke. He's gone round the outside in the S's to take back second place. That deficit of tyre performance evident straight away. I don't have data for Sneaky Tom.
Big crash! I think Shane's hit the back of Jaren, who's possibly having a moment. Sash rejoining the track.
It's Shane's the only one with damage that I can see. Of course, there's a couple of cars that I've got no data for, so we can't tell for sure. Let's jump back and have a look at JRN.
Yeah, he can't turn it.
Yep, no front wing at all on that Mercedes. And whatever gamble, if there was one, he had with those medium tyres has now been ruined by whatever incident befell him there. Jack Hawke all over the back of Raceway's Ferrari rather.
Electric Blade all over the back of Steve. Not for the first time this race.
No, don't think he'll be able to get through though. Sneaky Tom will give Steve a nice tow, and I think we're going to see a change of leader. He's saying that he's not got a massive pace advantage. JJ goes to the inside, and he's going to hold position. Oh no, he's not. He's gone. There was no contact there. That was just the back end of that Ferrari stepping out. And Shane has retired in the pits. Jack Hawke then back into the lead of this race. Sneaky Tom second, Steve in third. Crucially though, for Jack Hawke, Steve unable to clear Sneaky Tom's Aston Martin.
Not yet. Oh, look, they're all chomping at the bit behind.
Luke
like
though, back up to 6th place. It is, yeah. Luke back up to 6th place.
Luke's got to watch the front and the back, though. That's the problem. So, in all fairness, look, who would have thought the Wizard of all this is still potentially got a chance of a podium? He's got to make ground, though.
He's looking at the back of Smithy's car with well, it's like a piranha on the hunt, isn't it? Here we go.
Dun, dun. Dun, dun,
dun, dun, and he's through. He's going to try on the outside of 130R.
Oh no, Sneaky Tom's lost it. They both crashed. No!
Oh, Sneaky Tom and Steve out of the race. A massive accident at 130R.
And that is a safety car.
Indeed it is. We're going to get anybody stopped for fresh softs? I doubt it at this point.
Yeah, Slaughter's coming. I think he's possibly clipped that.
Let's have a look at Slaughter. Is there a wing for him, or is it just tyres? Just tyres for the McLaren.
Oh, he just picked up 8 seconds of penalties though in 2 seconds.
Raceway JJ's in. That'll be for softs. That's understandable. He took the gamble earlier. He'll now get himself onto the quicker tyre. He's got essentially a free stop over JRN behind. Luke now up to 4th. Were you watching that accident, or did you just see?
Steve was eyeing up Sneaky Tom. Sneaky Tom has gone. I I'll explain it when Jack Hawkey comes back round. That'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Steve went for the move around 130R, and then they came together.
No, it's not how you'd think it would be with Steve trying to go it down the inside and then contact that way. So Steve is eyeing up the move. Sneaky Tom knows he's there. Sneaky Tom then goes wide across the outside portion of the exit of that curb on the right hand side. Because he's then trying to also keep on track of such, the rear tyres have simply, given up, and he's then spun, and Steve's just an innocent bystander in everything and gets collected with Sneaky Tom's wreckage, really.
Yeah. So Sneaky Tom ends up on the painted stuff, where there's zero grip at the best of times.
Meanwhile, there has been some trading of collisions behind the safety car.
Sleeves and Escobar by the look of things.
Yeah, but not seeing eye to eye for the first time. In fact, Sleeves is in.
Yeah, and that'll probably be to get rid of some of those penalties, which is probably not a bad thing.
He can't get rid... Can he get rid of the collision ones?
Yeah,
Yeah, he can.
Yep. If it's a straight 5 seconds, he can. He can only get rid of one at a time, though. So, new front wing. We might see him back in again next time around to get rid of the other one.
Yeah, because he can probably get away with that, actually, going next time around.
Yeah, be able to. Might end up being caught out behind the safety car, but it's 5 seconds that he wouldn't have had taken off at the end. So we'll see if he wants to do that portion of gamesmanship. The thing I think that's quite important at the minute, if you look at the two leaders in the championships sense that are still in the race, that's Jack Hawkey and Luke. Neither of them have penalties, so Luke at the minute is on for second place, assuming he doesn't pick one up before the end of this race. He is 1-1 in a way. Jack Hawkey is completely clean, so you would imagine that the Red Bull driver is not going to pick one up at this point. Luke just needs to be careful. If he can keep himself clean, I would imagine he'll get both those guys ahead of him on penalties.
It's massive. Top two in the championship, both, not
Both
scoring
out.
any points.
Yeah. Still on, of
Wizards
course,
somehow
for a full 10-point scorers.
The Wizards somehow back up to fifth. Shows you what kind of crazy race we've had. Well, over the last 10 laps, really. It's not really since the dry stuff, which is interesting because you expect more drama in the damp conditions.
Safety car's in this lap. Sleeves won't get the opportunity to get rid of those 5 seconds. Okay, we need to get around to the start of lap 24 for the people to be scoring points if they retire. So probably about halfway through this lap, sector 1 is where we'll be counting that from, which they should all make it to the end of.
Oh, Luke's tried to go down the inside of Varda. That was very Prost-esque if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, and he didn't need to. All he had to do was stay behind, and he would have got them both. Him and Electric Blade. Whereas now...
Escobar all over the shop through the S section, squeezes JRN out, who's then nearly spun into Raceway JJ. Escobar's then hit the wall, rebounded. Oh, that was close.
Yeah. And I think that's the kind of race Luke's had tonight, lacking a little bit of patience, maybe a little bit of experience. As the Wizard gets up the inside of Varda at the hairpin, that looked very easy.
Yeah, Varda just lit the rear tyres up and didn't really go anywhere.
So Red Bull have gone from potentially having an okay evening with the Jack Hawkey win and the Wizard sort of lagging behind to having a very, very good one. with Jack Hawkey winning, and then the Wizard now in third place.
As JJ got damaged, he's struggling to turn that Ferrari in.
Yes, he has. Right hand side, so with left hand turns.
JR ain't going to go around the outside. Good racing though.
Not quite. Might have it in a straight line though. JJ struggling. JRM wants through, but he's not going to have it. He's not going to get an opportunity in the S's here. Not really.
Unless JJ gets it really. He's just got to be careful because JJ's not going to be able to carry as much speed as what JRM wants to through there.
No. And Degner's as well. Getting close there is going to be a problem. To be fair, actually, if JJ can do his teammate a favour here and hold JRN up.
Oh, he's just
there we go.
That was just silly.
Yeah, and it wasn't as if JJ was on the racing line either. He pulled over to go defensive, so that's JRN now with damage. That might help Luke. Well, it will help Luke. Certainly will help Luke. I was going to say, if JJ can do his teammate a favour and hold JRN up a bit, Luke's penalty free and JRN has 3 seconds, so Luke would have got ahead of him. And I'm wondering whether we might see a multi-2-1 at Ferrari coming up if Luke can get within range of JJ because of Slaughter's 8 seconds, look.
Yeah, Slaughter is going to have to make a move.
Yeah, but Smithy as well, 6 seconds for him. Both of the... Oh, this could end badly.
I don't want to see this.
Into turn 1, and there goes Slaughter's drifting it through turn 1. He's held it though, has he? No, not quite.
No, he hasn't.
I think there's... Oh! Oh! As JJ goes straight through the back end of that McLaren. Ghosting system
electric
working
blade's
well.
Gone. He's gone. The electric blade's off.
He has, and there's no wing left on that Haas either. Ferrari's blushes may be spared, but Red Bull will be loving this. First and second on the road.
Oh, electric blade, keep going. Keep moving. Do something. You get disqualified. He may not even get any points. He deserves points, definitely.
He'll get point. Well, actually, no, he might not.
Oh, no.
Let's jump back then to JJ in 5th place. Have a look at the gap to the leader. Right now, Raceway JJ is on for 3rd place. All he has to do is keep it clean and try and close up a little bit to give himself an advantage over Varda.
Slaughter's gone past Jaren.
The order of on track here could change all over again depending on penalties now. Luke incidentally could get past Smithy on penalties still. He's got to close up about a second and a half. So there could be... I mean, if Luke really gets a shuffle on, he might be able to get 4th ahead of Varda, but I don't think he's going to make that much time up in this lap. Crucially though, Raceway JJ might. And with Varda now putting the Wizard under pressure, who is going to be slower, because I think he has... Well, he's got older tyres and more worn tyres. It's just, can JJ pull it off with the damage? He's on the cusp now.
Oh, Slaughter's gone off for the Dunlop. I'm pretty sure. I think he's just hit the wall on the inside.
I'm not seeing anything, but he might have done. I think Electric Blade has gone very slowly through 130R as well. Raceway JJ now 3/10 off that podium spot. He needs to try and put the hammer down. Varda will know it. Varda will know he's got the tow from the Wizard to help him along. Raceway JJ. Oh, Luke's gone on the exit of Spoon. That's his chances of a top 5 finish slipping away. He'll stay ahead of Slaughter though, you'd imagine. Jack Hawkey wins. Wizard 2nd, Varda in 3rd. Will he keep it though? Raceway
I
JJ
don't
now
think
for
so.
the line. He does!
He
Varda keeps
does,
third
just.
place! 2/10 in it. Raceway JJ not enough with that damage at the end. Smithy in 5th. Here comes Luke though. He should jump back ahead of Slaughter. Indeed he does, into 6th place. JRN in 7th. Slaughter down to 8th. No way Escobar will be overtaking anybody with 18 seconds to add to his time. And I imagine Sleeves will take P9 away from the Aston. Indeed he does. Electric Blade, no points for him. After a brilliant drive, it has to be said, actually, from the Haas reserve.
Another new podium person.
Yes.
And the Croatians go wild.
Yes, the Croat there on the podium for the first time. I say first time this season. But it's Red Bull who will be coming away from this with maximum points. Fastest lap for Jack Hawkey as well.
A damaging day in the championship, both championships.
Yeah, and I would imagine that would actually put Jack Hawkey into the lead of the Drivers' Championship. The Wizard as well will be making significant progress towards the top 3, if not 2nd place. Luke falling away slightly, but Red Bull will be making massive gains out front. Ferrari there only able to score 20 points compared to Red Bull's 39. I think. No, more than that. I've done bad maths.
Jack will have a 5-point lead, barring any steward reports.
Yeah.
He'll be on 121 and Wizard will be on 116.
So 11 finishes then. That's Jack Hawkey, the Wizard, Varda, Raceway JJ, Smithy, Luke, Prentice, ZJRNN, Slaughter, Sleeves, Escobar and Electric Blade. DNFs then are Sneaky Tom, Steve, Shane, Joseph, Reflux and Dan Hilton. We can put the Red Bull on the pedestal. Seeing Sleeves in 9th place, made a 5-stop race. I think it's rather special. And had a bit of a glitch, I think, on the timing screens. Apparently the fastest Sector 1 is 13 seconds, which is...
rapid, yeah, it's good.
Very, yeah. The actual fastest is, I believe, the Wizard with a 33.3. Yeah, Jack Hawkey though with the fastest lap on the day.
Oh, I haven't invited anyone, that's my bad.
Honestly, what do I have you for?
I was doing my other job.
No, to be fair, you're normally here as my carer.
I was going to do...
you look at stats and things while I just...
registrations.
Check. Oh!
That's what I was going to do. I need to add... Who do I need to add? Jack Hawkey. Varda and Wizard.
Mm-hmm. So while you're doing that, I'll do my plug, shall I?
You do that.
We hope you have enjoyed the race this evening. If you have, you can watch more Contests of Speed, either more EU4 by heading over to our YouTube channel and watching back all the old races. You can tune in next week as well for round 11. Or, if you can't wait until then, you can tune in tomorrow Wednesday and Thursday. Let's see some more racing. 9 p.m. UK for EU3, 2 and 1 respectively, and then 2 a.m. in the UK, or 9 p.m. Eastern for the AM tiers. That's 2 and 1 on Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can watch us.
Yes! I'll be making a fool of myself tomorrow, and Matt will be doing it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I will. The fool is a right word recently, because I've scored no points in the last 5 races. I've scored more points in EU1 than I have in EU2.
Wow. Says a lot, doesn't it?
I'm gonna cry.
So, who have we got then? I saw names pop up, but I was looking elsewhere.
The Red Bull entourage have arrived.
The Red Bull entourage are here. Shall we do reverse order then? Let's go. Let's go second then. The Wizard.
Hello, guys. Hello.
Hello. It looked like you'd had a bit of a tragedy at one point, but it came good.
Well, this whole week it looked like I had a tragedy because yesterday I broke my elbow, but I still was able to drive this race.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I had a small incident where I touched the wall. I didn't think that I had a lot of damage, but I had. Apparently I had damage. So I bit it and then I spun again. But at the end it all worked out because people in front of me just were making a mess.
Well, whatever way it comes good, it works. That's what matters. So, obviously, you two have come away from this with maximum points. You've stretched your lead in the Constructors' Championship over Ferrari.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. I think you've made, my maths serve me correctly, you have got
not gonna help you.
24-point advantage over them from this race.
Oh wow! Then we really got into it lately, last couple of races. Yeah, I just told Jack during the race how happy I was that I chose him as my teammate for this season. Because
No.
we both are just doing pretty good, apart from the start from Jack. But now he's picked up his pace, and I think he's leading.
He will be after tonight. Yep. Barring any stewards' decisions, you guys will be 48 points clear in the Constructors' Championship. And
Jack is 5 points ahead of Wizard.
of you in second in the
Red Bull's coming to blows again. That's not the first time we've seen that before.
No, thank God Turkey's not on the calendar.
Yet.
Oh. Well done, mate. Peter, great recovery drive.
Yes, thank you. Points are the points.
Points are points. That's the one.
Points are points.
Mr. Hawkey, I'm getting bored of interviewing you.
Oh, sorry, man.
Nah, it's fine, mate. If you keep winning, that's fine by me. Talk us through that race then for you. It was. It looked like you were going to have a bit of a challenge with Luke early on, but then that mistake at the hairpin gave you the lead, and from there it looked like plain sailing.
Yeah, I was really surprised with that because I think Luke definitely had the advantage on me in the wet conditions. Because I'm not gonna lie, my pace in the wet is quite tragic. So it was just all about. I knew it was gonna go obviously to dry, so I was like, just keep it safe and steady, don't take any risks, and see what we can do when we go to the dries. But yeah, I don't know why he did, but he just lost it in the hairpin. So from there it was just control, put in some consistent lap times, and then the safety cars messed up a few things for me. But yeah, all good all in all.
My pace in the wet's tragic. He sets qualifying second.
It could be better compared to my driving.
No, I know you feel, mate. But yeah, there were a couple of points where we thought you might have a struggle to try and be as dominant as you both have been the last couple of races, because the fact that Luke was on pole and held it on that opening lap as well. That was the first one. Then when those couple of guys decided to stay out at the first safety car.
Yeah.
On the older dry tyres. But we saw the movie made on Sneaky Tom through the S's.
Yeah, I think he let me buy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he just gave up on the bike. I think he just knew I'd get him at some point, so he maybe just thought let him go, and I'll try to stick with him because he did make it very easy for me.
But it looked rather spectacular on stream as well. We had a shot where we were sort of level with the noses of the cars, so we just saw you swoop round the outside of him and through.
Oh, God, I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, it was a real challenge. Yeah. I put it in there. I hope it stuck and went for it. Yeah. But no, great job, mate. You've like I say, maximum points, so you won and fastest lap as well. So full 26 going your way, and you are now leading the championship. So not a bad week's work.
Yeah, it's not a bad week. So thank you very much, mate.
No worries, congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you both again pretty soon. Although with Ferraris ahead of you, from my point of view, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Not biased.
Don't listen to him. Just keep driving, boys.
You just want Williams ahead of. That's all you want.
Yeah, damn straight I do.
But no, great job, guys. Well done.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do regarding the Ferrari or the Williams.
Maybe next week. I can't make USA next week. They might be on the podium then.
Oh, psychological advantages given away for free.
So, have we had favourite Croatian join, or is he unavailable?
No, he's not here.
No. Shame. So we'll call it there then. Thank you all at home very much for watching. Like I said, we hope you have enjoyed the show. If you have, make sure you hit that follow button and subscribe if you're watching this back later on YouTube. Make sure you tune in next week for round 11. That will be the US Grand Prix from the Circuit of the Americas. We'll see you all then. Thank you very much again. Good night.